welcome back to another Mr. Ansky 74 video. Today I'm going back to the start of how it all began for me, and that was back in June 1989, and Prince released the Batman motion picture soundtrack. Now, at that time I would have been 14 years old that month in June, 15 at the end of that month when Batman was coming out. I was super excited. I've been a big Batman fan. I really loved the old television programme from the 60s, Adam West thing. For a generation of us, that's all we knew when we thought of Batman. After that, all the toys and stuff that was released was always based on that programme. The Batmobiles, little corgi Batmobiles you could buy, were all the Adam West Batmobile, and little dolls you could get. I think it was a company called Mego. I had Batman and Robin and a big Batmobile about that big. So I was really excited, and obviously it was a little bit, I suppose, upset to start with because it wasn't going to be like that. I remember thinking, oh, why isn't Adam West Batman? Michael Keaton Batman? It's quite funny when you think back now. But slowly but surely I really started to sort of get into what they were doing regards to the film, and thought, wow, this is just going to be fantastic. So because of that, I wanted everything to do with the film. What's interesting though is, now I've been thinking about it, is Prince had been around obviously for a long time. I was aware of him at that time, but I wasn't paying attention. But what's interesting is that he was around in my life without me really latching on to it. What I mean is, like, if I go back to 1984 and I was 10 years old and I was really mad about Ghostbusters, and I got my mum to take me to see Ghostbusters, and again wanted everything to do with the film. Never managed to get the single, but that year was the first year that they released hits albums. So there was, now what I call music, the first one of those came out, and there was like a rival called The Hits. That came out that year and had Ghostbusters on it. So I begged my mum, can you please buy The Hits album, it's got Ghostbusters on it. Also, I was really into Michael Jackson, and it had Thriller on there as well. So that was like, Mum, please get the Hits album, please. Eventually she gave in and bought the Hits album, and Ghostbusters was on it. Funny enough, Chaka Khan, I Feel For You was on there as well, and I think it was on side 2, Purple Rain was on there by Prince. I was like, but I didn't latch onto it. I didn't make the connection at that time. I suppose maybe I was too young, whatever, but I don't know. And then a few years later at school, a friend of mine covered his school book with the album cover from Lovesexy. It was a poster obviously out of a pop magazine. You know, I used to recover his school books, and I used to see this every day, this image of Prince, every day on his school book, and still like, no. And I knew of Alphabet Street and what have you, but it wasn't until Batman, something I was really into, came along, and suddenly I started paying attention and made the connection. When I think back now, it's weird. It's like Prince was always just there somewhere, but just waiting for me to go, and Batman was what did it. And so as I say, at that time I was doing my 2 weeks work experience at school back then. I don't know if any of you my age did that or remember that. You used to have to go and do work experience to prepare you for the outside world when you leave school. And I was doing mine at a leisure centre because I was really into sports when I was at school. And my memories of that was because when I used to walk home, it wasn't far from where I lived, I had my little Walkman. Walkmans then had a radio, and I used to listen to Capital Radio, and the drive time show was David Kid Jensen, and they do the midweek chart, and I remember hearing Bat Dance on that as I was walking home, and I was like, wow, this is amazing. I was already nuts about the film. I've got to have this music. I've got to have this music. The single was out early June, and the album was out, I think, the 20th of June. It was like, my birthday's on the 30th, so I had to wait till my birthday and got my birthday money, and I think it was Woolworths, so I bought it. But I didn't buy it. I had a record player, but it was really rubbish. But I didn't have a CD player, so because I had a Walkman, I bought it on audio tape to begin with, so I could listen to it everywhere, and that's what I did. Because I had everything, as I say, I had a book to do the making of the film, everything in there about how they made it. I was just so into Batman, and yeah, a really good book this was, explaining how they did all the film. So I had that. I've got the ball game, that's in the loft unfortunately at the moment, but probably a good thing, it's not that great. I had the ball game, and then as I say, eventually I got the CD obviously of the Batman album. What an incredible album. And first thing that struck me about the Batman album was that Prince just took the concept and run with it. He just really did. I know he'd been on set, I think he was in the Batcave, we watched the scene in the Batcave or something, but he really bought into what they were doing in the film, this darker version of Batman, this more mysterious version of Batman, and he just took it and he just knocks it out of the park. He really does. It is incredible. It's dark, it's brooding, it's beautiful. Some of the tracks on there were just mind-blowing, and some of my all-time favourites, I suppose, because it was my first album. Things like Arms of Orion are unbelievable. Scandalous, obviously, and Bat Dance itself, Electric Chair, Vicky Waiting, fantastic when Prince goes on about, what was it, he asked the woman about her organ, was so small, he replied, I didn't know she was playing in a cathedral. It's like, naughty, very good though, and Trust as well, I love that, that is just so much fun, Trust. I love that song. It always makes me smile and laugh, that one. It's just brilliant. It was such a fantastic album. And also around that time, when I was living at home, we lived on a council estate, Roundshaw Estate. If you look on some of my earliest YouTube videos, you can see it on there, the estate where I lived. And it used to be on the Croydon Airport, the site of the old Croydon Airport. So there were big playing fields out the back where the runways used to be and what have you. And you could walk across those to get to Purley, which is one of the nearest towns. That's where the cinema was, and that's where I went to see Batman. I think 3 times I saw it eventually. And I just always remember walking across those fields, listening to the Batman album. So those tracks always bring back memories of walking over those fields and just listening to the Bat Dance, Electric Chair, all that kind of stuff. Really does. On my way down to the cinema to watch it again. With my Batman t-shirts, I had t-shirts as well. I had a poster of Michael Keaton next to the Batmobile on the wall. So okay, I've taken it too far now. I really like Batman. This film really did get into my head, but I'm so glad it did, because it brought me to Prince, and that was it. That's where it all began, that album, and I was like, wow, this is incredible stuff. And then a journey of discovery. Another little funny story to do with Batman is that a neighbour of mine was really great at making things. He could do so much stuff, and we were supposed to be going to a fancy dress concert, me and my cousin. It never happened in the end. Fancy dress party, concert. And he said, what are you going as? I said, I was going to go as Batman. He said, alright. And I said, yeah, but I really like the new Batman, this new bat suit and what have you. And he made one for me, and he made it out of like a velvet jacket, really dark blue, and used coat hangers to make the cowl, sort of wireframe cowl. Put this material around it and made it all into one headpiece, and got these bed sheets and cut them into the shape of bat wings, dyed them black, put Velcro so they would attach to your arms, so you could go like that, like a bat, with these big wings. He made this whole thing for me. We weren't really going to the party, and I thought, what am I going to do with it? I thought I better wear it at some point. So at that time there was like a bunch of likely lads used to hang around. We used to live above a little shopping precinct, and they used to hang around at the bottom, all their long hair, getting into Pink Floyd and smoking joints and what have you. And they're okay, but sometimes they'd be a bit annoying. You think, oh God's sake, we said shut up or go away. So I thought, right, one night, on comes the bat suit. And I went out, and we had like decks that you could play out in front of the flats. Went down the deck, round the corner, there were these big ramps that led to the shops, and I stood on the corner and waited till they could see me, and I just stood like that. And then they also were looking around, they're all stoned out of their heads, and they go, what's that? What's that? And I went, whoosh, with the wings right out. They're freaking, oh my God, it's a vampire, it's a German! They're screaming. And I legged it all the way back down into the flat, shut the door. Oh, waited till they all run down the deck. I could hear them all freaking out, running down, all disappeared. So I went back upstairs, looked out the window, saw them looking round the shops, every nook and cranny, searching. I thought, what the hell? Waited till they'd all settled down, And then I did what any self-respecting person would do. I did it again. I went out there and I did it again. That was so funny. Oh dear, I thought I've got to get a wear out of this thing. I really have. And then I thought, oh, I might as well carry on. So this is like the middle of the night. I went out onto those playing fields and ran around the playing fields wearing this bat suit. 15 years old. In the middle of the night. Batman! Oh dear. Could you imagine doing that today? Oh God. It didn't even enter my head like, oh, this is not safe or anything like that. Yeah, I'm Batman. Running around like a mad thing with his bat suit on, and then sneaking back, hope no one sees me. Oh dear, 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 so funny. I don't know. Never grow up. Anyway, so yeah, so that was another little story from that time. There's so many great memories, and this Batman album of Prince always brings back all of these great memories to me. And also, as I say, where it all began. And after then, I just started going backwards, obviously, and getting all the albums that he'd done. Yeah, it's incredible. So there you go. So that's my sort of talk, really. Just all I've got to say really about that period of getting into Prince and how it all began. So thanks for watching. See you soon. Keep it purple. Are you okay? Riddler, you jolly devil! You hurt one hair on that boy's head now. Don't worry, old chum. I'm getting you to the Bat Poles. Haven't one moment to lose.
Yeah, and can I have extra olives and a large chocolate cheese, yeah, and a quarter pounder of no cheese, yeah, large chips, yes, a milkshake, no milkshake, okay, I'll have bat fries, yes, and a regular cake, okay, that's marvelous. How long? Oh, really, that's fantastic, yeah, the address, it's the cave, it's just the cave, yes, just drop it outside, don't worry. Oh, that's marvellous. Yes, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Can we go now? Yeah? Yeah, okay, we're ready for next scene. Okay, oh, it's marvellous, marvellous. Okay, yeah, lovely, lovely. Okay, yeah, actually, ready? Cut!